Chris Bayne, project manager, Royal Electric. My career started with Royal. 19 years ago, I was completing my degree over at Cal State Long Beach. Royal Electric had a job there, and they needed an opportunity for a office assistant and material procurement purchasing agent, and that's how I started. I think I was a purchasing agent probably about for a year, maybe a year and a half. Then I was done with my schooling, and right after I got done was San Diego, doing the Caltrans job, the 15 and 805 interchange between the 8 and the 94. That was the first job I was promoted to a project engineer. At that time, the project manager on that job got pulled off onto another job. So essentially at that point, as a brand new project engineer, I was acting as a project manager with Jerry as the superintendent. And first job, really trying to grasp all the concepts and put it together. And then from there, I think the first job I was listed on as a project manager about a year later on the next Caltrans job, which was the 210 job. Normal day-to-day, there is no normal. Always first thing in the morning, check, see if there was any emails that slipped through that are hot that I needed to respond to while I was sleeping. My phone's on 24/7, so you know, phone, text, usually on it, emails. Try to stay on it, you know, make sure I've got the idea that I had before I left my shift to when it came in the morning, readjust, restructure. Then I've got my bullet points, my hot items, must get done, I'd like to get done, and then my filler. And then that's always, I get in at 5, before anybody gets in. That's my quiet time to really think about, you know, what I need to do, focus on the things I need to focus before the guys even get in, or the office crew. And then at that point, it's as things pop up. My door is an open policy. The guys in the field can ask me anything. Here in the office, anybody can ask me anything. Plans, specs, documentation, where to find it, how to find it. If they've got a question on contract, maybe their scope of work we shouldn't be doing because we excluded it from the prime. Maybe we've got a sub, you know, and maybe we need to carry it, and maybe they didn't include it. Everything as far as project management and construction is schedule and cost related. Those are the two big things. Someone's got a problem, if they've worked with us a year or even longer, they know me and they'll come straight to me. You know, whether it's an IT issue, they can't find a document, they don't know where to find it. The information's there on their tablet, but they just need a little help and direction to find it. And that's one of the good things, is just being able to be helpful. You know, they're doing a good job, and Jerry's got the eyes out in the field. I'm helping it at you know, the office level together, making sure the guys have what they need to do the job complete. So right now, we are in the full closure of runway 6 left, 24 right. That is the northernmost runway of the 4 runways at LAX. It's a full closure up to the RSA. So basically what we're doing is, that is the first phase of adding 4 new high-speed taxiways, 2 for land and 2 for coming from approach from the water, so the planes have better access safely, and then decommissioning 2 of the existing runways that are, because the planes are bigger, faster, so forth, makes it safer. That is the north portion. When we roll into the next phase, phase 4, that is the southern runway, which will be 6 right, 24 left, and that will bring it matching to what we did in phase 3, so that way it all maps together. This job has 6 phases. We're currently in phase 3. It started in September. Right after we get done with phase 3 in January, we jump right into phase 4, which that is another intense phase. Both of them are 6 days a week, 2 10-hour shifts. And phase 4 carries us until May. So when you think about it, you got 9 months of working longer duration, harder duration, and for 9 months, and you get 1 day off a week. It's burnout is definitely something to be mindful of. Again, with the suicide prevention, you know, it goes hand in hand too. You know, it doesn't take much where you're working too much and you lose track of what personal life is, and maybe you're not taking care of yourself as much as you are. Again, that's the importance of talking to the crew, talking to those you work with. Even it may not be directly Royal. It may be, you know, working with the prime, the owner, designers. Everybody's going to have fatigue. It does happen. So when you ask, how are you doing? You know, don't just make it a cookie cutter thing to say. Take some time to listen. Maybe you might hear something and pick up on it. You know, if it's somebody in the crew or somebody that reports to you, maybe you can make an adjustment as a manager and put them on a task that might be a little simpler. Let them get a little more ground underneath their feet to catch up, relax, take a deep breath. You know, stress management is part of it too. And, you know, knowing everybody's stress level, and then trying to make a readjustment however you can. And when you ask them how they're doing, if they're really down and out, try to help them out. You know, give them real life experience. Everybody learns from each other, and you know, if it does sound bad, point them to the resources. We've got 4 project engineers on this project. Ben has been here for almost 3 years. Joel has been here since December, so he's been here 9 months. Susanna, she got brought in, I think, around March, and Jacob is our newest. He was an intern, brought on in May, and then just at the end of August, we offered him a full-time position as a project engineer to help his growth. Having 4 project engineers on a job, all different levels of background knowledge, you know, it's a challenge. The quickest thing as a manager that you got to do is recognize everybody's superpowers, what they do great. Obviously, you want to make them feel comfortable. Give them a little bit to work on in that, so they have that level of comfortability. I try not to dictate this is how it goes. Because it worked for me does not mean it works for someone else. I will let them know what the minimums that Royal requires, your documentation, tracking, so forth. Let them know what the minimums are. Let them work through their own system, so that way they own it and they are more compelled to work on it moving forward. You know, it breeds confidence, breeds the knowledge. You know, they'll have the want to learn a little bit more. And then always making sure, you know, that they know communication is key. You know, just because you're in the office, there's no separation. We got to do this job correctly, and having the collaboration with the field. You know, you can't have that separation. Susanna, she's the senior project engineer on the job. Like I said, she's been here, I think, since March. She's a go-getter. She has a want and drive to learn. That's what we're looking for. Obviously, we're in a big growth for the company. We've got a goal to hit. We got to do it the right way too with our growth. She came in with some electrical background knowledge and admin here at LAX before. Not so much maybe within the AOA, so it's a little different for her, so she's learning. She takes direction very well. She does know the lava system, so she's able to take a task, run with it, and what she doesn't know, she does not have a problem asking, and that's all you can ask for. Setting aside from training, you know, asking her right out the get-go, you know, have you done this before? Yeah, no, okay. Having that conversation to provide a little more guidance, and here's the deadline. You know, always keep in mind, you know, when you got to have things done by. What I like about Royal, they've always believed in me. Again, I came in greener than grass. Royal's always believed in me, and I take that to heart. That's why I work so hard. Definitely a family-owned business versus a corporate company, business, it's a lot different, and the feel is different, So I always appreciate that. As far as being a project manager, my history with Royal, there are a bunch of people within this company that have been with the company a long time. That adds to so many more resources, so many more people to ask to get the answer that you need, with real life experience too, versus just reading it, Google, finding it in a book. So getting that extra experience is refreshing, always good to have. And then what I like about project management, I like the challenge. Whether it was what my degree was or what I am doing now, engineering is engineering. You're identifying a problem, trying to fix it. That's, like I said before, no job's cookie cutter, although a lot of jobs are alike. Everyone has its own inconsistencies or changes, nuances per se. Being able to adapt, think on your feet, having the confidence to, okay, I've done my research now, this is the right decision for Royal, and being able to do it and execute it. A lot of people having that fortitude to be able to do that, it's good. It's a challenge. I like to learn. I like to be able to think on my feet. And if I don't have the answer, have the freedom to say, I don't know. And then be able to have the resources that we do, the experience that we do with Royal, to know that I can contact one person for a specific issue, get their feedback to incorporate into the final decision.